Alright, we're gonna make a Talkbox patch custom in a Novation MiniNova synthesizer, starting from scratch. First thing you're gonna wanna do is turn this patch style till you get up to the C patches. And you'll see most of these should be initialized patches. It'll show initial. I had one here, so we're gonna go to 2. That's a blank, start from scratch patch. We're gonna go menu, global, we don't need to worry about. We're gonna go 1 arrow to the right, 1 more to edit. Hit OK. Now we're gonna go to the oscillator section. Hit OK again. Now oscillator 1 is all we're gonna worry about. This has 3 oscillators, but for a Talkbox patch, we're gonna just use 1. So hit OK, oscillator 1, and you're gonna wanna set this to sawtooth. There's other ones, sine, triangle. What we want is a sawtooth. And that's more of a, give you the buzzy sound that you want for Talkbox. Let's go 1 arrow over. And now the semitone. Leave this at 0, because all that's gonna do is put it in a different key. So for now, we're leaving that at 0. Scroll to the right 1 more time, sense. Now that's micro tuning, you'll see. We're gonna leave that at 0, because later on I'm gonna show you where to put the tuning on one of these tweak knobs, so you can micro tune your patch. Go to the right 1 more time, leave this at 0. This will be 0. Now when you get to hard, put that at 127. You can see it adds a lot of the bite. And that will be also controllable on one of the tweak knobs at the end of this, because that's a nice feature to be able to tweak. 1 more time to the right, leave dense at 0. Again to the right, leave this down to 0. Now, pitch wheel. I like this at +2 because it gives you a full step of bending. Otherwise, you're getting. So, to do the normal things you'd want to do. And I like to use the pitch for modulation manually also. So +2, let's go to the right. And I have this will be 0 also. And that's the end of that. So we're gonna hit menu to back up out of there. And like I said, we're only doing oscillator 1, so don't worry about 2 or 3. So let's go to oscillator common, hit OK. Now mod vibe, that's the modulation, vibrato. I put that about 30, and you can do this to whatever you like, but what I like is 30 here, and then arrow to the right. This is the modulation vibrato rate. And I like this around 92. Here, slowing down. Whatever you like. You can have it slower, faster, and then I'll show you the modulation depth here. You might like something a little more funky. That's a little crazy. Let's keep it around 30. Everything else will be 0, 0, off. White noise type doesn't matter, we're not using it. Menu to back up. 1 more time, hit menu again to back up. Now we're gonna leave the oscillator section. We're going to the mixer section. Hit OK. This is 01 is the oscillator 1 or O1. And the level, we're gonna put that at 127. And then go to the right, we want oscillator 2 level at 0, oscillator 3 level at 0. The rest of this stuff, through here, all 0, which it will be on the initialized patch. And then we're going to go to post effects level and turn that up to +12. What that's going to do is boost the gain, because this keyboard has a little bit of a low output, and by doing this we're just adding another gain stage. We're going to make it come out of the synth a lot louder, which is nice if you want to, you know, have it go into the Talkbox nice and loud. So we're done here. Menu to back up. Okay, we're going to skip filter and go to the right one more time to the envelope section. Hit OK. We're going to go to the amp envelope. Hit OK. Now this is the attack. And for Talkbox, it's nice to have a little bit longer attack because it takes away the little click when you first hit it. Gives you a little click that I don't like. You want your voice to be able to give the attack of the sound. Even Roger Troutman's original patch was more of a horn, so you get that slower attack so that your consonants and your voice can create the attack. So I go about 18 just to roll off the front of it, smooth out the front, but not too much because you'll hear it starts swelling in like a string. You don't want that. So give it a little more of a horn sound now as opposed to this choppy sound. So 18, where I have it set. Let's go to the right, turn that all the way up to 127. I'm in the decay, sustain, 127. Now amp release, this is going to be when you let go of the keys, they're going to keep ringing out. So you'll see if I turn that way up, getting like a bell ring type sound. So you would think you want 0 here, so it stops when you let go. But there's also that same clicking that can happen when you have it on 0. So just a short release around 20, 25, smooths it out. So that's where we want the amp envelope set. And now amp velocity we're going to have on 0. Not minus, just 0. And this could be off, off, re-trigger. All of this is fine on the standard initialized patch is fine. Leave it as is. So we're going, okay, we're going to hit the menu button to back up out of this section. We are done with the envelope section. So hit the menu again and arrow to the right. LFOs we are not using. Go to the right. Hit OK to go into the voice section. Unison we're not using. Let's go all the way to the right to poly mode. Make sure this is in mono. What that means, it's only going to play one key at a time. Even if you try to play chords. Otherwise, poly mode, and you see the Talkbox will distort if you play polyphonic. Doesn't like it too much. So let's put it mono mode. Actually, mono auto glide. Mono AG is the mode we want. That auto glides between notes. That's a nice sound. Let's go back, arrow back to port mode. Put this on linear. And now arrow to the left again to port time. We're going to go about 76. And what this does is adds a little glide between the notes, which is kind of nice. And this will be adjustable also on one of our tweak knobs, because sometimes I like this real slow, gives it kind of a lazy feel, or you can turn it all the way off and get more of a fast playing robotic feel. But this is where I usually keep it set, 76. You hear it slide between the notes. So here's with the port time down. you want to play fast, that's kind of nice because then this gets lazy. So we're done here. We're going to back up, menu button. We're done with the voice section. It's arrow past mod matrix, we're not using it. Go to the effects, hit OK. Now panning, we're not panning, only using one side anyway. Let's go to effects 1, it's bypassed, hit OK. Select EQ. When you go into EQ, hit OK. We're going to set the FX1 level to around 50, 60. Arrow to the right, skip the bass frequency. Go to the mid frequency and set that to 96. Arrow to the right again and set the mid EQ level all the way up to 63. Now what we're going to do is we're going to assign the level of this EQ to a tweak knob, and you're going to be able to get a more sharp cutting Talkbox tone at the touch of this knob right here. And here's what it sounds like on and off. This is nice soft tone, but if you want to get something that cuts through, that's pretty nice right there, around 60. So we're done with the effects. Hit menu to back up out of that. Menu again. We're done with effects. We're going to go to the right to tweaks. Hit OK. Tweak 1. Let's set that to port time. And then go to the right. Tweak 2 will be FX1 amount. That's way to the right. So keep turning this dial. FX1 amount. Let's go to the right. Tweak 3. We're going to make this the hard. 01 hard. There it is. And then go to the right. Tweak 4. We're going to make Oscillator 1 cents. There it is. So now this is menu out of that. This is it. Not going to use any of the other features, Vox Tune, vocoder. These aren't things we'll even use. So we're done. The whole patch is done.
Oh yeah, we got a nice Talkbox sound. I wanna be your man. Yeah, Talkbox on the MiniNova.
So we got to save it. Hit save, and we're going to name it. Turn the dial here. Go to the right. To switch letters, just keep going over. Call it Talk. I'm going to call it TalkStar. It sounds great on a TalkStar, Talkbox. That's what we're using right here. TalkStar. Now, hit save again. It'll ask you where do you want to save it. You could save it to C002, which is the initialized patch area. But if you want to save it somewhere else, you just got to turn the dial. I'm going to put it all the way at the beginning and save it in the very first slot because I use the MiniNova basically only for Talkbox. So hit save again. Now you can save it as a type. We have these types right here. I don't really want to give it a type. Hit save again. Genre, I don't care. And there we are. There's your Talkbox patch. You can go through the other ones and see. It's now saved on A000. Now let me show you what these tweak knobs that we programmed are going to do. This is your portamento speed. So So we have access to the portamento time right there, which is cool for if you're playing and you just want to go. So that's cool. DX100, never get your portamento switched that fast. It's very, very cool feature they have on the MiniNova for performing. Now here's the next tweak knob, and this is the brightness we added with the EQ on FX1. You can brighten up the patch right away.
Here's a brighter Talkbox patch, then we get it softer. Computer love, woo. Computer love.
You can hear a little more of the tone when you bring the EQ up.
Computer love, woo. Computer love, computer love.
You might want it softer for a particular song. So now we have access to that right there. And then we also have the hard, which also gives it more cut.
Well, yeah, baby, when we turn the hard knob on, and when we turn it down, we get a different sound. But when we turn it up, yeah, we get it harder, 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 harder.
And then sometimes you'll be playing along with a song and it might be out of tune, especially old songs that you might want to play with, where they're on 45s and they were recorded with real instruments and real tape that wasn't always perfect. So you have access to that right here.
Yeah, baby, yeah. Now we're in a half key that easily.
And then back to 440. So these tweak knobs are very cool. I think they're useful. The portamento is something you always want to adjust. And then that EQ and hard, just to shape your tone. And then the micro tuning on the far right tweak knob. So that's your MiniNova Talkbox patch. We're done. Enjoy. This patch sounds especially good on the TalkStar Talkbox. Go check it out at our website, thetalkstar.com. We also have the Talkbox Masterclass. It's the only online comprehensive Talkbox training course. Teaches you everything from the beginning, all the history of Talkbox, how to record, how to master all the techniques with the tube, and we give you this custom patch and patches for a bunch of other popular synthesizers for talkboxing and VSTs. So you get all of that for free when you purchase a TalkStar, or the course is available on its own. So thanks for checking it out, and happy talkboxing.